Folks, we knew there were problems with the federal government's process for vetting refugees under Obama, but now we have some insider information confirming it. Meet Mary Doetsch. She spent 25 years in the State Department and for 8 of those years worked as a refugee coordinator in Africa, Cuba, Russia, and all over the Middle East, including at a UN refugee camp in Jordan through which many of Obama's Syrian refugees were processed. She retired about 2 months ago and has since decided to blow the whistle on the whole thing. In an open letter she published in the Chicago Tribune, she wrote, quote, "I have seen firsthand the abuses and fraud that permeate the refugee program and know about the entrenched interests that fight every effort to implement much-needed reform," unquote. According to Doetsch, many of these war-torn countries we're hearing so much about don't have crime data or law enforcement records of any kind. In many cases, the refugee has no ID or supporting documentation whatsoever. No birth certificate, no passport or visa, and of the ones who do, there's a good chance those documents are forged. She says the vetting process is usually just an interview with the refugee where they're asked for their name and background. In her letter, she wrote, quote, "Despite claims of enhanced vetting, the reality is that it is virtually impossible to vet an individual who has no type of an official record, particularly in countries compromised by terrorism. U.S. immigration officials simply rely on the person's often rehearsed and fabricated testimony," unquote. She also wrote about the situation in the island nation of Malta, where boatloads of asylum seekers from Africa should have stayed there under the International Asylum First Law, but instead were reclassified as refugees by the UN and shipped to the United States. The UN telling America who it must bring in is something President Donald Trump is dead set against and has vowed to stop. Doetsch wrote in her letter that she fully supports President Trump's executive order pausing immigration until the State Department can get a handle on it, and even says the order doesn't go far enough. This insider is confirming what we all suspected. America's immigration system is in complete disarray, and it's long past time we got it and our borders under control.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and donate at theraywarnershow.com.